Huawei unveiled the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro in Munich, Germany, and I've been using those phones ever since. These are one of the best looking phones on the market and they offer bleeding edge specs and much more. My name is Linus and here's my review of using these phones for the entire month. Both Mates look just gorgeous as they use quality metal frame and glass on the front and rear. The phones look really nice in the hand despite their huge footprint. The Mate 10 has a smaller 5.9-inch 2K resolution LCD display that has a traditional 16:9 aspect ratio, meaning that it is wider but it is a little bit shorter than the Mate 10 Pro. The latter phone has a larger 6-inch AMOLED display with 18:9 aspect ratio, but it only has 1080p resolution. In practice, I found both displays to be plenty sharp for everyday use, but I prefer that AMOLED panel found on the Mate 10 Pro. I found both fingerprint scanners to be very fast and accurate. The Mate 10 has one on the front, while the Mate 10 Pro has one on the back. Both phones have 4000 mAh batteries that have been performing really well. With my usage, I could get over 6 hours of screen on time, but keep in mind that I usually install a ton of apps and use the phone quite intensively. The supply charger fully charges the phones in just about 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is one of the best results out there. The Mate 10 has a microSD card slot for storage expansion, whereas the Mate 10 Pro lacks this feature. Also, it does not have the headset jack like the regular Mate 10, but it has more storage and RAM. Both phones have the same powerful Kirin 970 chipset. Another area where the Mate 10 Pro excels over the regular Mate 10 is that it has the IP67 certification for water and dust resistance. The sound quality is very good. Same can be said about the stereo speaker setup that is actually one of the best in the business. The new Mate 10 phones sport the first Huawei chipset with a neural processing unit or AI component of the processor, which learns how you use the phone and helps the device adapt to assure the best user experience. For example, the AI chip detects what kind of picture you take to apply the best image settings, and it did a pretty good job during my unscientific test. Also, it helps apply the right amount of blurring effect in that portrait mode. Obviously, the AI component does a lot more than helping you take better pictures. Most importantly, it learns every single day to assure the best user experience. For example, it learns how you use the phone to make it faster by allocating the resources to the specific task. So far, Microsoft has updated its translator app to make use of the AI chipset to speed up the translation process. When reading a book, the NPU will remind users to enable eye comfort mode, which is Huawei's blue light filter. Or when taking a picture of a business card, the NPU will offer to scan the details into your phone book. These are just a few examples of how the AI processor works in practice. If you don't really care about artificial intelligence, you can be rest assured that the Mate 10 will handle absolutely everything you throw at it. I played a lot of different 3D games on the very highest graphics settings, and the phone just flies, a flagship grade performance. Finally, what impressed me the most was that the phone stayed cold to the touch even after 40 minutes of gaming. The Mate 10 ships with Android 8 out of the box, but it has the EMUI skin built on top of it. Some people may love it, some may hate it, mainly because of its a little bit cartoonish look. The first thing you may want to do is to bring back that app drawer feature, which is built in the UI. I personally like the user interface since there are plenty of features and customization options to make the phone look your own. You can choose from a variety of themes, wallpapers, and so on. There are also pretty cool transition effects and other customization options. You can choose from quite a few smart assistant features that I don't really like using, to be honest. If you plan to use those gestures, they work fine. What is the most important thing about this phone is that it is blazing fast, fluid and responsive. Huawei claims that the phone will not show any signs of slowing down even after 18 months of using it. Well, I can't really confirm that, but the Mate 10 is indeed a very fast phone on the daily basis. Just like the Huawei Mate 10 Pro, the Mate 10 has the EMUI desktop feature that is just awesome. You simply connect your phone using the HDMI port to any display without the need to buy a docking station. There is the desktop mode that converts your phone into a basic laptop. You can edit your documents, browse the web, access all the files from the phone, and so on. Obviously, you can connect a Bluetooth keyboard and the mouse for even better experience, but if you don't have one, you can use a built-in trackpad directly from the phone that I found to be pretty intuitive to use. You can also switch to the phone mode, which basically mirrors the phone's display. Overall, I really like the EMUI desktop feature. It works straight out of the box, no need for a docking station, and no additional software. You can even play 3D games without any input lag, which is pretty awesome. Both phones have identical cameras. A 12 megapixels RGB camera is paired with a 20 megapixels monochrome sensor here, and both lenses feature apertures of up to f1.6. The camera takes pictures really fast. There are quite a few shooting modes. My favorites include 2x optical zoom to make the best out of that secondary sensor. This mode is really useful and I enjoyed using it while I was exploring Munich. The pictures look pretty good as you don't lose detail like using digital zoom. The daylight images look really good considering the fact that the phone still runs on an early software build. There is a good amount of detail, sharpness, and the dynamic range adjustment is quite impressive. The only downside would be that some of the pictures are underexposed, but that can be easily fixed in post. The low-light camera performance is quite impressive too. Sure, there is a little bit more noise and less detail, but in general, the results are great. Pictures taken using that portrait mode usually look quite good, but I noticed some artifacts going on in a few shots. There is also a monochrome mode that I'm not a huge fan of, but the pictures look really nice and detailed. Selfies taken using that 8 megapixels camera are detailed and will definitely do the trick for social media needs. 4K video looks pretty good too as the footage is sharp and detailed. However, the optical image stabilization does not work in the 4K mode, meaning that the video may look a little bit shaky. 720p slow motion video is not the best I've seen, but it's definitely usable. 1080p selfie video looks great too as there is plenty of detail. Finally, I really like the sound recording quality.
Here in the beer garden, a lot of people drinking beer, and today is a very sunny and bright day, so the lighting conditions are very good. So this is how the
Connectivity-wise, the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro are just excellent. The call quality and signal reception are great, Wi-Fi and mobile network speeds are really fast, Bluetooth, NFC work fine. Also, the GPS is very accurate. Finally, the phones have a bunch of sensors, just like any other flagship in the market. After using the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro for the entire month, I still believe that these are one of the best phones on the market right now. The devices simply look beautiful, the phones are well made, the displays are sharp, a powerful processor assures excellent overall performance, and a dedicated AI chipset will learn on a daily basis to assure the best user experience. Also, the cameras take one of the best pictures and the battery life is just great. A few things that bother me about the Huawei Mate 10 are that there is no wireless charging, the water and dust resistance rating could be higher, and there should also be a 128GB model available for all the regions, just like on the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. Obviously, there are some caveats to consider about the Huawei Mate 10 Pro, like the lack of the 3.5mm headset jack that less and less phones have. Also, there is no wireless charging, no micro SD card slot, and no 2K resolution display. Other than that, the Huawei Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro are legit flagship phones that have a ton of premium features, and so far, these are one of my favorite phones of 2017, despite a few shortcomings. What do you guys think about these Huawei phones? Drop me a comment down below, and as always, if you liked the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Finally, please check out gizmochina.com for all the latest and greatest Chinese tech news and reviews. It was Linus, thanks for watching and see you soon.